Something that I kind of talked about earlier this morning with someone was my concern. And I know I'm going off script here for you, but my concern for my concern for the paying players for their likeness. You're going to have to worry about what businesses care about your brand as a football team. And there's already deep roots with Jordan in Chapel Hill. And there's already deep roots in Under Armour in Maryland and Nike in Oregon. My concern is that if they're paid for their likeness, what's to say Michael Jordan doesn't come in there and say, hey, every elite player gets a commercial for Jordan if you sign with the Tar Heels. Now, I know there's a lot to work out with that, and I don't think that they're going to allow that. I hope they don't, because what's Clemson going to do? Fluor, BMW, Prisma Health. I don't know what Clemson's going to do locally. Now, I know there's some big time money in IPTE for sure, but when it comes to advertising ability, you got to think the Tar Heels, the Marylands, the Under Armours, the Nikes, Oregon of the world. That kind of scares me in a way, because they've got family ties there, they've got legacy ties there into that school, and it would make an unfair advantage for those schools if they're paid for those advertisements. I didn't know. I know we kind of went off script, but did you have any thoughts on that?
I don't have too many thoughts on it, because this is something I cannot stand. We talked about this a long time ago. I'm not a big fan of the paying players for their likeness. I think they have enough in their package as far as, getting the scholarships and getting the health care and all that kind of stuff, and the stipend and meals and everything like that. I don't think they need to be doing this. I think it complicates things to a level that nobody is prepared to handle right off the bat. I think things are complicated enough as it is. You always see, impermissible benefits and teams getting in trouble for things like that. This is just going to magnify that times 1,000. I mean, you kind of give them an inch, they take a yard. They're going to offer, say you can give a player up to $10,000 or whatever some arbitrary number, and somebody's going to try to give them 20. It's just going to work that way. It's not. It's indifferent. It's unfair from state to state. Obviously, with higher cost of livings in certain state, are you going to adjust for that? Are you not going to adjust for that? Because players are going to have to think about, and obviously the coaches and the recruiters are going to have to sell that as well. Hey, I understand at Ohio State they're giving you 20 grand. We're only giving you 10 here at Clemson, but a cheeseburger costs $10 as opposed to 20 up at Ohio State. Come on. I think it's nonsense. I'm really against it, and I wish they wouldn't have kind of opened this can of worms. But like we said, a few weeks ago, once you open this can of worms, you're never going to be able to get them back in. So I'm just kind of anxious and honestly a little concerned about where this thing's headed.
Especially those teams over next to Hollywood. I mean, you look at Southern California. What's to say that they don't have some sort of deal with those studios there and say, hey, if you come to Southern Cal, you can get into a movie trailer or something. I mean, hey, or you can be something like that. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of sticky for sure. And I hope that they work it out. I think it's going to take a lot more than just 1 year to figure it out. I think they have since till 2023 before that law comes into effect in California. So they got to figure something out that's going to be universal, that works for everyone. I like Dabo's idea of saying that wait and hold on to the money until you graduate or until you get drafted or something like that. So at least there's some sort of future thing to look forward to, instead of just showing up, maybe having one good year and then banking your $1 million and walking away. We don't want really that, because then that kind of ruins the college culture for sure.